Hello YouTube, this is Charlie426 and today we have something exciting to review. Today we have the Beastdrive line. So this is the Beastdrive Drive Pterano. I'm assuming that's a silent P over there, from 5-2 Toys. Now, if you're familiar with my channel or the stuff I've been reviewing, you may have noticed I have been reviewing something called the Beast Box line from 5-2 Toys. And then amongst them, there were something called the Beastdrive line, which were basically cars that can transform into specific animals or creatures such as like raptors or sharks. So this is that line as well, and here we have a new line, or I mean a new lineup from the Beastdrive line called the Drive Pterano. So these are basically cars that can transform into flying creatures. So back then we had a few other examples which I'll bring out later. So here is the box here going on. I think they did a really good job in releasing this thing. The product was very cool. I bought it immediately. Granted, so far I think when they were advertising these products or basically showing the prototypes version, they weren't really shown in these original colors. They were shown in entirely different colors as far as I know. Most of them were in the resin colors, and then there's one I think I saw in red maybe. But once again, they did an excellent job on the product, so let's see what we got. So here is the box. So they, unlike 5-2 Toys Beast Box come in fully, complete. It's not, you don't need to assemble anything, but once you get the Beastdrive line, there is some assembly required. So what I mean by that is that basically you get a car frame. So basically there's this inner frame kind of thing that's already been pre-built, and then basically from there you have to slap all these armor pieces on to the vehicle frame, and then so most of these parts are on plot plates, so you do need to take them off as well. And also, now most of the time they promote these items or show them on the image videos. Most of them aren't really, they don't really apply. Most of them don't have their decals apply as far as I remember, but of course it depends on the product itself. But once again, this product comes with some stickers as well. But if you don't like stickers, they do give options for water slide decals here. So they do give you a water slide, and they come in like this to protect to protect the decals here. So this is a specific paper as far as I know for that protection. And obviously we do get some catalogs here for the Beast Box line, Beast Drive line, and something where they're working on these small minifigures as well. I haven't seen these in my own country yet, because of 5-2 Toys, I don't think they're officially operated in Korea yet, or maybe a small batch. And then obviously we have the manual. So here is the instruction manual, just to give you guys an idea. So everything comes in like these small plates of parts, and then here they come. Here is that pre-built inner car frame I was talking about. So this is a very unique part that is essential as well. And then it will tell you what to do with the car frame, and then start telling you to slap on parts here and there, and you're good to go. So like I said, this is basically a new lineup here. So back then we have the Raptor series, which each Beastdrive line, we also had the jets that turned into sharks. Each line is supposed to have 3, but for some reason so far we've only gotten 2 of the raptors, 2 of the sharks, and then now we're on to this one. Now before this there was the squirrel and rabbit that can transform into jets. Those were not exactly my cup of tea, so I skipped on those as well, so if you're wondering. So here is the supposedly 3 variants that are supposed to come out. So here we have the first one, the one that turns into a pterodactyl. The second one I'm actually very excited, which is the one I really hope they release soon, is the lightning lizard. So this is like a wyvern as far as I understood. And the third one is, oddly enough, is a bat. Because in Beast Box line they did also release a bat one, a bat version as well, not too long ago. So that's kind of odd to have a repeat here, but oh well. And then again, Beast Box, they also have a shark, and then they released a shark, so I guess it makes sense. Alright, so before we go into any other details, let's see the previous vehicles here. So here are the 2 raptors. Now keep in mind, just because this is a car, this is not the third variant. This is an entirely new thing. So here's the first 2 raptors here. This was the original one. Absolutely loved it. Of course, this was being too white. Definitely you do need to apply the decals, but once again here it's just without the decals here. And then sometimes depending on the product, if you pre-order this one, they would have given you clear parts for the outer armor. So if you wanted to use that, and here is the second variant which has the same shape format, but once again has these extra larger thrusters going on here. Definitely reminds me, that can remind one person of Cyber Formula. So once again, pretty cool as well. So just to do a quick comparison here. Once again, shape-wise, not exactly the same because you can see the cockpit here is in entirely different location. So that means the inner frame, the car frame itself is also a different part here. But size-wise, there's roughly the same as well. All right. So, one thing, I'm not going to show the transformation process because it's going to be messy and it's going to take way too long. But before I go into the transformation, here's one more gimmick that apparently a lot of people actually like about the Beastdrive line is that it can open the cockpits here or the driving seat and then reveal the small pilot. So, for the Raptor, had a small dinosaur. I'm not sure if I can open it here at the moment. There we go. Oh boy, there we go. So, the Raptor one came with a small dinosaur. Now this one, I believe, doesn't have any clear parts here inside because this was the first lineup, but they do come with a small dinosaur piece here, and a lot of people liked it. There was the shark that came with, I assume is a small shark or either a fish, so it's one of those two because the shape was a little bit odd to figure out whether it was a fish or a shark. And then finally, third, this one comes with a small pterodactyl. Now the head shape may look a little bit awkward, but once again, the long side is the back section here, so yeah. And then with the extra clear pieces, it looks pretty cute and very small. And the wings are actually flappable. They actually are on ball joints. So yeah. All right. So once again, I'll be right back with the transformation here, and we'll see from there. Because in this form, being a vehicle, there's nothing that actually moves around. I mean, there are parts that you can separate or move around because that's mostly for the transformation here. So you can. So in here, there's nothing that actually opens up here other than the cockpit. But once again, you can see all these ports here. So once again, if you want to do some customization, you can attach weapons. There's even pegs here. So it's really up to your desire what to do with these. All right, I'll be right back with the transformed version, and we'll see it from there. Okay, I'm back. So here we have the finished transformation, and I also transformed the two raptors. So I forgot one of their names. So I believe the purple one is called Naughty Sar, and then I believe the first one is called Wheel Raptor. Yeah. So here's Wheel Raptor and Naughty Sar. Once again, I think it's just the name pronunciation that might be a little bit awkward, or it's just the translation that was awkward. But once again, they really look good because they're all dinosaurs as well. I would love to see maybe now, since these are all like cyber formula type supercar looking designs, maybe a truck that can transform into a triceratops, that would look, or like a stegosaurus, that would look amazing if you ask me. And yes, I am aware of the big stuff that 52 Toys is working on, like a gigantic truck that can transform into a gigantic gorilla. And in this truck, you can put in all the beast drives and beast bugs as well. And there's also like MoMA 2.0, according to rumors, where you can transform into a gigantic elephant, but also can transform into some sort of a gigantic mech or train. Once again, there's a lot of cool stuff coming up, and I am looking forward for those. But once again, so because these are the different lines, I don't think it's really necessary to compare these two with this one. So I'm gonna put them away. So like I said, Drive Pterano is a different lineup, so it's its own new lineup. So in the Beastdrive line, so yeah. One thing, as you notice, I am actually using this basic Bandai Tamashii Nation stand because back then for Beast Box, for example, I'm not sure if they finally went back to. They changed this in the Beast Box line because I need to check. But back then, they would use a larger hole here. So because back then they made originally it was a promo item, but later they started releasing regularly their own action base that can transform into like a small piece that you can store in a flat way. So I forgot if they have a specific name, but at some point they started making all these ports for the action base area to match that size. Any place else, these ports would be the same as a typical any model kit would have. But the only part that was important, which was like the action base hole, they would make it into a very specific size hole, so it was very difficult to use any other action bases. But finally, I think it was a really good idea to just go with the original, just a standard peg size hole. So once again, very thankful for that as well. Anyway, so let's see what we got here. So here we have pterodactyl. Once again, very colorful. I'm already seeing like 4 to 5 colors, which is a very interesting choice. So let's start with the head. Now the head itself is on a ball joint. So there's actually a lot of parts. Even with, I was surprised to see some multiple ball joints here and there because back then they didn't use as many ball joints. Maybe for the arms and legs, mostly for the arms as far as I know, and maybe the neck. Some parts they actually didn't use any pegs, I mean ball joints, just like all sorts of gimmicky stuff. But once again, the head here is here, and then they actually use some on the legs here as well. So very interesting choices. So the head can go down, up that much as well, but you do have another neck, so you have more range of movement going on here. Now granted, the neck, depending on how you use it, the joint here, you can go even lower, but once again, you can definitely tell this is before the transformation here, so that doesn't count. And then once again, you can open up the mouths pretty well and very wide, so I think which is a acceptable amount, because for 5-2 Toys history, they have a few products that can't open their mouth that easily, so yeah, or not much. All right. So let's look at the wings here. So each wing is exactly the same area, so I'm just going to show you guys one. So you have this rotation movement, which I'm not sure if it was intentional or not, but once again, definitely helped. This is mostly from the transformation here. Now technically, yeah, so you can't move forward and backward. I mean, the joint design wise, it looks like you could, but it's not really moving, so I don't want to force anything and break anything, so which is why I'm not going to force it. But obviously going up and down is possible. I'm really glad they didn't put in the button feature, which was in the Beast box line, where if you press the button it can flap its wings now. But once again, that could kind of limit a few things here in terms of freedom, so I'm really glad they did not put that gimmick in here. So going up and down is possible, and I believe there is another joint here as well. So there's the first joint here, second joint here, and then okay, give me a moment. Yeah, and then there's the third joint here. But once again, this part is slightly more limited because of the wheel, so just keep that in mind. And then the wings can fold forward and backward like that. It can go all the way to the front if you want to do so, and then here we have these flaps as well. Now originally in vehicle mode it would be like this, you just open up here. Same goes for the second flap here, it would be like that, but you would fold it up like that. So that's that. So the body itself doesn't change much. You still have the pterodactyl small pilot figurine inside there, so no big deal as well. And now for the legs. Now the legs are kind of interesting here. So these are some stuff that I was not really expecting to see in this, but they actually have feet. So you can see these claw looking things, those are actually feet, and because of that they also had added a few extra articulations on the leg. So here the main joint of the leg here is actually a ball joint, no big deal. And then we have another joint here which allows the leg to go, or fold the leg roughly 90 degrees to the front, not much so to the back. But anyway, as far as I know, I assume you're supposed to be able to make this thing stand, which is not exactly an easy task because of all the stuff. So I assume maybe you have to do something like this, which what a real pterodactyl do would use his wings as like extra support, and then move around like that, walking around. So once again, pterodactyls are not really meant to walk around; they're mostly meant to fly around. So that's that. And once again, the wheels do still spin around here. So yeah. And like I said, there are so many ports here that you can do stuff with. So if you want to slap on more weapons, missile launchers, or any extra weapon parts you have from Gunpla, you could totally do that. And they do also have pegs here and there. So you can go crazy if you want to do so. And that is pretty much it for the review. So once again, I absolutely enjoy this lineup. I would love to see more. Granted, like some animals or creatures they made, like the squirrel and rabbit, wasn't really my cup of tea, but I am really looking forward for other future stuff as well. So far we are fully updated on what's for the Beastdrive line. So we have these ones, and then now we know that these are going to be in the future. Now my question is, what's up next? What is the next creature? What is the next vehicle? I am aware of the gigantic ones they are working on, but I'm not sure if they're on the Beast Drive line or the Beast box line. But once again, I would love to see more as well. Anyway, if you guys got any questions or requests, leave a comment below. I still have more stuff to buy and build and make reviews out, so please stay tuned. Until then, see you guys next time.